Monday. This Monday we're featuring the March Graphic 45 Children's Hour paper. This is a great paper pack. There is a layout for every month of the year. Comes with some great cutouts, some journaling cards, all kinds of great stuff. So we're going to go over those more in the video, but here's what we're looking at today. It does highlight the month of March. Of course, you can leave that March wording off there if you like. You'll have some raised up journaling cards. We're going to show you how to do this little photo corner. Looks like you're pulling your paper down and there's something underneath, but usually you're just using just a small 3x3 square or 3x4 square of paper to do that technique. We are going to teach you how to do that here in the video in just a few moments. Got a few little knot bows here featuring some ribbon from Celebrating with Ribbons. Everything is already distressed in champagne ink from Close to My Heart. Got some little postage stamps going up here. Just a real fun layout. Very versatile with your photo mats. You can turn those into portrait or landscape. So grab your kit. Again, it's kit number P254, and it is the March Children's Hour from Graphic 45. So these are the tools that you'll need to do the layout today. You'll need a pair of scissors, some foam tape, some kind of adhesive. I use Tombow dry adhesive. Score tape. I use 2 different sizes. If you only have one, that's perfectly fine. Or some kind of strong tape that you can use to help fold down those corners we're going to do in a few minutes. I also use some glue dots. I've got 2 things of Tombow adhesive there. Sorry about that in the picture, but I usually go through one and have a spare one handy when I shoot the video, so that's why it's laying there. You will need a ruler or something with some kind of grid line to help you line some things up. If you have champagne ink from Close to My Heart, that's great. Everything is already distressed for you, but if you like heavier distressing than what I've already put on your paper, that's what you'd want to use to continue to distress. Also, I did use a round file. It has a texture to it, just so you can grab the paper to help turn a corner. So that's just a file. That's a Close to My Heart file. You can use any brand that you want, of course. So, okay, gather up all those tools. Meet us back here, and we'll start on page 1. Okay, so now that we've unpacked our kit, when you open your kit, if you'll divide it by the 2 cardstock pieces that are in the center and divide, then you'll see that everything you need for one side is on one side of the pack facing out. Everything on the other side is for the opposite page facing out if you want to do the layout as shown. We're going to start on this page here. Let me go over just a few things before we get started. Again, I'll assemble the page, then we'll fast forward. You see me put it together. We'll assemble the other page, talk about it a little bit, and then do the same thing. Today we're using the Children's Hour by Graphic 45, and we're focusing on the month of March. This great paper pad comes with all the different months in it. It also has some great cards. You get 2 in each package. So you'll see one facing up. The other one I cut apart to make 2 different places here on this layout. But every month comes with 2 cards, which is nice because you can use both sides that way. And then there's also chipboard available from Graphic 45 that has all the different months included throughout the 2 different chipboard packages. Those are available on the website for purchase. I don't have any of them on here, but they could be added. They're super cute. If you buy, we are going to do every month. So if you buy the first 6 months, you get one free. Second 6 months, you get one free. So January through, June, July, you'll get a free one. And then the rest of the year, you'll get the other one free. So they have the coordinating things with it. You can go ahead and purchase the whole year at one time, even though they're not already and showing. Just go on the website and look for that. It's under Graphic 45 Children's Hour. You can order by the quarter, which is January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December, or you can order for the whole year at a discounted price if you get all 12 layouts. So we're going to get started on this page today. Let me set this one to the side. The first thing we want to talk about is this little corner piece right here. Now I went ahead and assembled this one. I'm going to show you how I assembled it, and then you'll see me actually put it together on the next one as well. All these pieces, there's a lot of small pieces. The pages come as cutouts. I did go ahead and put foam tape on my large piece here, which we're going to set aside for right now. These pieces literally build in a column. So I'm just going to set mine aside in the way that they're going to go onto the page so you can see that. In case you're still trying to line yours up, feel free to hit pause at any point if you need to. And now I went ahead and tied my bows. This ribbon is from Celebrating with Ribbon. It's just their sheer pencil stripe bow and ribbon, and all I did was take that and tie a knot bow with it. So you're literally just tying a knot and then bringing those edges out the way you want them to appear. So don't just pull it and then try to fix it. Fix it as you go so you're getting the look that you want, then trim each edge to the size that you want. All of our papers are distressed in champagne colored ink from Close to My Heart. My little website will there pop up on your screen. Those are already all distressed for you. And we are using, again, the Children's Hour from Graphic 45. Now this green piece that's in the back, these will come already sewn together for you. This green piece is actually from the typography line from typography line from Graphic 45, and it is the Celebrate page. I'm just using the back, which is a two-tone green. The dark purple is a Basil cardstock, and it's called Her Majesty. And again, I went ahead and distressed that, and it's put down with just Coats and Clark thread on my Singer sewing machine. The lighter purple is a Close to My Heart color. It is called Eggplant. So those are the three that I used to build our page out of. The way we're going to do our corner here is in your pack, you've got two pieces that look like this. And I distressed the edges that you want to use. I didn't distress around all of it. What you'll basically do is these two are the same. One you're going to glue directly to the back of your page. That's the part that's going to flip over like this, if you want that flipped over edge. If you don't, ignore this portion and just move on through it. The other piece, we're going to line up with this page. So you'll see I left a little edge there. I wanted my purple to show when I flipped my page, but I want it to look like there's paper behind it that's coming through without wasting a whole sheet of paper. So this piece, I'm actually going to line up with the very edge of this eggplant page. I'm going to lift up my edge and using a adhesive, and you can use whatever you want. I use Tombow dry adhesive. I just like it best. I'm going to adhere that. Now again, the inked part is facing down, okay, because this is the part that's going to show. And I'm only going to glue the edges so it's loose, like so. So it folds open. Then I'm going to adhere my whole page. This is the most complicated thing about the whole layout because I've already done the distressing and the sewing for you, so that's super simple. Want to make sure it really sticks down, especially right here on this this part. The page is set so that there's edging all the way around, except for here on your opening piece. So I'm going to line this up. You've got maybe 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch to work with right here. Just line that up to the very edge of your page and go back. It will not cover up the sewing. Made sure of it. And you can press this down, won't matter. You don't have any glue there. You do have glue underneath, so you want to make sure that piece sticks. Now, then we're going to pull this piece over, and I like to make mine look as a square. I left you enough room. If you don't want to go so much, you can, or if you want to do it a diagonal, you can. I'm going to do mine, I want it to look like a square. Some people like to put a brad here to hold that down. I'm going to use my score tape. It's heavy duty enough that it will keep it where I want it to keep it. And I just don't want that brad there, but if you do, you're more than welcome to find a coordinating brad. There's not one included in your kit. You can also put a button there, or, you know, use your imagination, whatever you like. I'm not going to bend my paper all the way down. I just want to have enough that it's going to stick and stay as we're assembling the rest of our pages. So this is just score tape. I used a larger size just because I wanted to keep that piece where I want it to be. So I'm going to do mine a little bit of an angle, but not a whole bunch. And I'm not going to press down heavy. You know, eventually in your book, it will get pressed down. If you don't want that press down look, I'll teach you a trick here. Roll up a piece of paper, any kind of paper, scrap paper, whatever you've got. Roll it to keep your height underneath there, and insert that rolled piece underneath. Over time, if you don't roll a full length, you'll still get some image there, but you can roll that to the size that you want and slide it in there. It will help hold it in place. You can even glue it down before you tack down that edge if you want. You see, it gives it a hard piece so it can't smash against your paper. And it doesn't have to be a coordinating paper. No one's going to see it, but it does keep it from getting smashed down in there. Okay, so again, that was just put down with some score tape. If you wanted to put it all the way down through, you could. Really up to you at this point. So now we're going to start building our page. And these pieces, the longer pieces, they're 9.5 inches, I think, across. Those are going to go all the way to your edge. Your smaller pieces, your shorter pieces, we're going to leave a little bit of a gap there. That gap is about 3/4 of an inch. And then we're just going to build down. So you're going to see me start at the top and work my way down to get where I want to be. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward through this part. Again, we just tied some knot bows. I'm going to put, I haven't already put my foam tape here, but I am going to pop that up off my picture. Do not adhere your ribbon until you're ready for it to actually go on your photo mat. If you choose to put the ribbon here, you can either just adhere it on the back, or I'm going to use score tape to put mine on, and just not take the paper off the back. So you'll see me put score tape on that. The paper will stay there until I'm ready to put my picture in and adhere it. So I'm going to tack mine lightly. If you've got your pictures ready to do, this is a 4x6 photo mat, then feel free to do that. Okay, so here we go. And again, it's going to start fast forwarding. If you need to pause, feel free. I will stop when we get ready to start the next page. Get started on the second page. You'll see me assemble this corner piece like I explained before. I will explain it again one more time. I went ahead and put some foam tape here on mine, and I did curl up my edges, and you may have seen me use this tool. This is just a round texturing tool. It does have a texture to it. It's almost like a file. I guess that would be the best word for it, is a file. And I'm just going to bring up my edges. I want it to look a little worn. Don't be afraid to bend your paper. Just be careful not to tear it. When I distress these edges here, and I should have shown you before I put the foam tape on, I tried to cut that one so I could show you. I bent these in order to get a little distressing there on your line. So those are not three individual things. It's one long piece. This little piece right here was a cut apart in one of the pages, and I just like that little flower. So mine's sticking through right there. These pieces here, as we break this apart, these are actually part of the tear apart pages in the Graphic 45 book. You'll notice, like, this is the January one. These are the little cut aparts I used. So we're using the back of the page here for March, and then using some of the solids and the prints along the way. So those are where those come from. They're not a separate thing that's sold. It's all part of the paper pack. Here you've got 3 small photos, and I turned mine landscape or portrait, whichever way works best for you. There is enough room to do both of them portrait if you need to do so. I encourage you to turn your camera as you're taking pictures. That was the hardest thing in the world for me. It was to figure out I needed to keep, turning my camera a little bit to get some different types of things, so not everything I did was either landscape or portrait. So, and again, we're going to use another little knot blow. There's plenty of ribbon. If you want to add some more ribbons to your page, there's plenty of it in your pack, so you can do with it as you wait. This was another cut apart as well. Again, I folded that in order to get some distressing, so it made it look like it was actually 2 little sheets of paper there, even though it's only 1. And the way I did that is I put that on my cutter. Let me grab it real quick. Sorry. I put this on my paper cutter. I just use an old Fiskars. You can tell the stuff's being worn off of it. I placed it where I wanted to, and then I used an embossing tool and lightly embossed that piece in order so that I could create a small crease in it. Once I created that crease, then I could fold my paper without tearing it, use a sponge dauber, and daub those edges. Again, we're using the champagne ink from Close to My Heart, but that's how I did that. I had someone ask me that earlier, and I tried to explain it. I'm not sure I did a great job, so there's a little visual to help you on that one. So we're just going to again put these pieces together, making sure that when we put this piece down, that if you decide to do a landscape piece, or if you want it to come over, you've got a little room there to play with. This one is all about just free flowing where you want it to go, and using the pictures that you have, or trying to figure out how your pictures are going to fit. So if you have your pictures, I encourage you to go ahead and get those, put them on your photo mats, decide if you need a different size. You can put 2 of these together to create one longer piece if you'd like. You'd have a little extra distressing, but I suggest just playing with that and figuring out, what works best for you. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and put this one together, and we're going to go over how to do this one more time. And I know all of you eked when I turned that over and it had the cute little kids on it. I just believe in using every possible piece of paper, so bear with me on that one. So don't hate. Okay, so this one is going to go here. Again, we're creating that edge that's going to fold over. So make sure you get the print you want coming over. And I want that little girl on a tire swing coming over. You'll see her right there. Yours is going to have different things on the back because it's just random print. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. And I'm going to leave a little purple edge because that's how I want mine to look. If you want yours to go all the way to the edge, feel free to do so. Then this piece, again, you want it, remember it's going to go this way, so make sure your words are facing the right direction. Unless you're really free-forming it. I'm not good. I'm OCD. All my stuff has to go the right direction. So just line that up to the edge of your paper. And again, we're only going to glue the edges of that page. So that's all you want, is enough glue to hold that down where it's supposed to stay. And then again, it will open. That's what you're looking for. Okay? And I've bent my paper so many times showing y'all that it doesn't want to stick. There we go. Okay. So just make sure you get enough adhesive there to make that stick. Again, you can fold up or roll up a piece of paper, a scrap piece, just to have something to hold up that center section so it won't bend up in your book. I'm just using, again, a scrap piece I had laying around from where I trimmed it off the purple here. We're going to insert that underneath in order to keep the height on my page. I know that's nothing super fancy. I'm sure there's a great way to do this that's looks prettier, but no one sees it, so I just stick it under there. So for right now, I'm going to stick that right there. Okay, so we're going to put this one together. Again, this is being my far edge, is where my paper is going to line up to here. Okay, so here we go. We're going to fast forward. Feel free to pause if you need to. so there is page 2. Sorry, I should have mentioned about gluing this down before putting that down. Totally my fault. Once you adhere this, then turn that corner over. Of course, you want to prepare it before you put it down, but then bring that over. My bad, sorry about that. I had forgotten how far this page went over. So this is our 2-page layout. Again, this was kit number P254 on the Scrapbooking.Life website. That's Scrapbooking.Life. No com or anything, just Scrapbooking.Life. So follow the link and you'll get there. Thanks so much for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed your day with Scrapbooking Life.